car, how to pass your road test, how to do well on a knowledge test or theory test. If you don't know, I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults, I teach teens. We're going to go through the whole process. I want you to really enjoy this. And if you have comments or questions, go ahead and put them in. The first thing you need to get to do is know your vehicle. It's really kind of stressful and nerve-wracking when you get into a vehicle, you don't know how to drive it. Example, I know how to drive a manual. I could probably drive a semi-truck, but I don't have a Class 1 semi-truck driving license. I probably could drive it. I would be terrified because the vehicle is so big. It takes a long time to get up to speed. It takes a long time to slow down. I do know how to drive a manual. I do not know how to drive an 18 speed. I know the regular shift pattern. Up is 1, down is 2, up is 3, down is 4, and then I believe there's a button on the shifter, and then that would be 5, 6, 7, 8. I could probably drive a semi-truck and feel comfortable, but I would be really stressed because it's huge. A lot of beginning drivers just don't take the time to know the vehicle. Your instructor should be getting you into the vehicle, showing you where the gas is, the brake is, the blinker, down is left. Beginning drivers always forget this, up is right. It takes time to get into the car. You should come in and put your seatbelt on first. That's the first thing I need you to do. Next, you need to adjust the center mirror. I'm in the driver's seat right now. I'm in an American car. Our steering wheel's on the left. If I was in the UK, the steering wheel would be on the right. So I want to see you adjust your center mirror. Your side mirror. I'm on the driver's side. I would adjust my side mirror. I want to bring it up so I can see the side of my door, perhaps the back door handle on the right side, which is the passenger side. I want to bring the mirror in so I can see. So you want to have your mirrors adjusted. From my experience, I'm not sponsored by Converse or Hey Dude, but if you hear this, hit a brother up with some products. Those shoes are very thin. You can feel the gas and brake. What I see from my experience, a lot of beginners have really thick shoes on. And when you have thick shoes on, you cannot feel the gas and brake. Have thin sole shoes on so you can be comfortable. Now, I'm in the United States. I'm in the Midwest. My experiences would translate to the UK. My experiences would translate to the G1. You got to feel comfortable in the car. If you don't feel comfortable, I gave you the example of me driving in a semi-truck. I could probably drive it, but I will be really nervous. Will I have lane positioning? Probably not. Will I know when to slow down? Probably not. Will I know when to shift during speed? Probably yes, because I have experience driving a manual. So you have to rely on your instructor. You need to be trusting me. You need to be listening to me. And you really need to be asking questions because it takes two people. This is about knowing your vehicle. Vehicle ownership. When you purchase a vehicle, you must apply for a registration certificate or title. You'll have that question on your knowledge test. The title stays at home. If you don't own your vehicle, the finance company that owns your vehicle will have the title until you pay for it. So one of the trick questions is you should carry your title with you. You should not carry the title with you because if you lose it or give it to someone, they can apply for ownership of your vehicle. Next, you want to transfer the existing license plate if you don't already have one. A lot of beginners don't know this. When you purchase a vehicle, you have to get a license plate. And that license plate those numbers will be tracked back to you. Okay, so you have to go to the DMV, no matter where you are in the world, the Department of Motor Vehicles. You'll bring in your registration, you'll bring in your title, and then you'll be able to pick your own license plate. You could have a custom license plate. It could be driving with Myles. It could be baller if you're a basketball player. It could be gamer if you're a gamer. So for a few extra dollars, you could get a customized license plate. It just can't be anything inappropriate. Next, you will also receive your registration for your new vehicle from the state during the same time frame as your title arrives. You're required to always have your registration in your vehicle to show proof of ownership. You remember I talked about this? That's the trick question. Your registration shows you are required to have your registration in your vehicle while you drive to show proof that you own the vehicle. Okay? Next, in the state requirement that you must also have insurance. Insurance shows that you have the financial capabilities or means in case you have an accident. Maybe you have a panic attack. Maybe you have a seizure and you are parking and then your foot hits the gas instead of the brake. I had a client do that. They hit the wall. They had to pay for that. They failed the class. Our insurance covered the damage. So you have to have insurance. A minimum coverage is about $100,000 in case you hit a building, go over a curb. So this is why part of driver's education costs so much, because you have my salary as a state certified driving instructor. You have insurance on the vehicles. Remember, I'm driving people who do not know how to drive. So we have to have insurance, and the insurance is really high for people who do not know how to drive in case you have an accident or a mishap happens. They do happen from time to time. Next, if you are driving and involved in an accident, see, that's the next question. If you're driving and you're involved in an accident or in a traffic violation, the police officer will ask to see your driver's license, your registration, and proof of insurance. So these are sample knowledge test questions, state questions. You need to know about insurance. You need to know about your registration. You need to know about your title. So I'm giving you a pathway to success. So if you're listening to this right now, you need to be writing it down. If you're listening to this on your phone or on a tablet or on a smart TV, this is your virtual driver's education class right now, because I'm taking the time to go through some of the actual prep questions on a knowledge test, on a UK driving test, because they're all similar. Okay, next, pre-driving protocols. What does this mean? Before you get into the car, you should be walking around the car. Is there glass on the ground? Is there metal? Is there an animal? Are little kids' toys behind your vehicle? As a beginning driver, you got to think of others. I know you just want to think of yourself, but unfortunately you can't, because the common good is the most important thing. You got to watch for kids riding bikes. You got to watch for older people who are jogging on the road. You got to watch for people walking. That's that defensive driving mentality. I'm giving you more examples right now. Pre-driving protocol. As you approach your vehicle to begin driving, you should always check to make sure your vehicle is free of any obstacles, obstructions that could interfere with driving. Make sure your path of travel is clear. Debris, kids, animals. Check your vehicle for any violations, vandalism, theft, or hit and run. People will damage your vehicle and leave the scene of an accident. If your car is on the street, some people may back into your car. I'm telling you a story. I used to have a Chrysler 300, very beautiful car. Someone dented the driver's side door. So when I came out of the office, I looked in my car and said, oh my God, someone hit my driver's side door. And for about a month and a half, I had to drive around with the driver's side door on this beautiful Chrysler 300 that was a lease until we had the money to get it repaired. So people do vandalize vehicles from time to time, so you have to have insurance. Check your vehicle for any damages. Check your vehicle's windows, lights, turn signals. It's just general protocol, because if you get out into the road and your headlights or taillights don't work, you're going to get pulled over. It's called an equipment violation. Police officers are generally very nice. I have law enforcement officers in my family, but you need to make sure your headlights are working good. Your taillights are good, because when you go to take your test, whether it is the UK test or the United States test, they're going to check to see if your headlights work. Turn on your headlights, please. The instructor, the road tester will stand outside. Turn on your left blinker. They're looking to see if your front blinker works, your rear blinker works. So you have to make sure. Hello, hey, how you doing, Richard? What's going on? We're talking about the UK test. We're talking about the United States road test. I'm going over general information. If you have questions, put it in. We're talking about having your headlights work, having your taillights work, because you will get pulled over by the police. And once you give them a pathway to check your vehicle, other things can pop up. That was the Corvette that just went by. So you got to make sure your car is working properly, because you want to be able to have good headlights when it's dark, right? Hey, Jackson, what is up? Thank you for following me on Instagram. Hopefully you're enjoying it, right? We're going over knowing your vehicle, talking about the things for your road test, your knowledge test. I want to get you guys prepared. I'm a state certified driving instructor. If you have questions, put it in. Once you have entered your vehicle, make sure your doors are locked. I want to see you come in and listen. Lock your doors. because you do not want to fall out. Next, put on your seatbelt. Your instructor will expect this. Your knowledge test instructor, your UK instructor, your American driving instructor. These are things that you have to go over and you have to know. So you want to put your keys into ignition, or you have a push to start. Your foot goes into the brake. You want to make sure your car's in neutral if you're driving a manual. You have to put your foot on the brake and push the clutch in if you're driving a manual. Same thing. Remember I told you about that big semi-truck? I know how to drive a semi-truck, but I would be terrified. I would be overwhelmed. I would start sweating. My heart would start pounding. My hands would start sweating. That's how a lot of beginner drivers are. And I understand it as an instructor, and I want to be patient. I want to support you. You've seen a lot of my videos, and if you haven't, you need to be looking at my videos. And if you're really passionate and want to learn, you need to subscribe. I'm going over knowing your vehicle right now. I'm going over actual information on your UK test, on your knowledge test. You have questions, put those in. I'm going to highlight some of the things. I'm not going to go through everything in detail, but if you're interested, you got to subscribe to get more information. Next, turn your vehicle on and make sure the gauges and computers are working properly. Hey Timmy, how are you? You want to make sure your car is working properly. You want to make sure you have oil pressure. You want to make sure your car is at optimum operating temperature. Same thing with big trucks. They have a lot more gauges. Same thing with the school bus. Bigger trucks, you have bigger issues, more weight, a larger vehicle. Next, I want to hit some of these right now. Vehicle controls. Okay, this is an extensive list, and I'm going to go over it. Hey, thank you. Malfunctioning level. The lever that is located on the left side of the column, you can adjust your steering wheel up or down. I'm tall. I'm about 6'4". I weigh about 260 pounds. I have my seat back. I have very long arms. Some of you are a little bit shorter. You want to move the seat forward and push the steering wheel in. Let's talk about the windshield wiper. There's a little switch on the left side. You want to turn it up. That turns on the wipers. You want to turn it down. In some states, in some provinces, perhaps in the UK, you have to show that you know information in your car. Your windshield wiper, your blinker, your gauges. Every instructor is different. Every province is different. There's a lot of information here. Next, your horn. Listen, I just hit the horn. You need to demonstrate this. Your steering wheel, you can adjust it up or down based upon how long or short your arms are. Let's talk about your temperature control devices. They control the air conditioning. They control the heat. Usually blue is for cool. That means it's going to blow cold air. Usually red is for hot. It's going to blow hot air. In the wintertime, you need to start your car, turn on your defroster. That will blow heat on the window. You have an engine. Coolant is used, not water, antifreeze, which is toxic to animals. You don't want to drink it. You don't want to have it come in contact with your skin. Once your motor warms up, that coolant will cool off the motor. I will help you. Okay, Ian, I got you. We're talking about driving right now. So the best thing I want you to do is just listen to my general lecture today. I want you to understand that when you're ready to drive, you will learn how to drive. Everyone's a little bit different. You have to drive for you, not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend, not your mom, not your dad. Anywhere from 27 to 57 when you're ready to drive. Driver's education is expensive. If you wait till you're 18 or 19, you're probably going to go to the state. You're going to get something called a TIP. This is when you're driving with someone over 21. They're going to help you, show you the rules of the road. And through my tutorials, because I'm a state certified instructor, I'm actually reading some of the state standards, some of the national standards. I'm taking you through the journey of getting you in the car, having you put on your seatbelt, showing you the inside of the car and things you have to do, because sometimes I'm in the car, sometimes I'm in the laboratory, sometimes I'm in the basement, and then sometimes we're out in the field. So you have to get in there when you're ready, and you need to have a support system. I call it gradual exposure. So you want to have gradual exposure. The ignition switch, some have a push to start button. You have to put your foot on the brake. You hold the brake, you push the button. Some you have a key you have to turn. You have 3 pedals if you have a manual. You have your gas pedal to the right. It's usually a longer pedal. You have your brake pedal, which is kind of a rectangle. And then you have a clutch pedal, which is a smaller pedal. If you're driving a manual, You make sure it's in neutral. You jiggle the shifter back and forth. It's in neutral. If you have an automatic, you just make sure it's in park. You put your foot on the brake, automatic, you start the car up. If it's a manual, you're going to have to push the button, make sure it's in neutral, and then let your car start up to operating temperature. You need to know about the gear select. There's a park, reverse, neutral, and drive. Those are some of your basic things you need to know. Remember, this is a general class. If you want more information, hi, is driving enjoyable? I've never tried. Driving is enjoyable. It's very peaceful. You get a chance to drive to different locations in the world. For instance, I have a client in Belo Horizonte, Brazil. He is driving through different parts of Brazil. He's driven up to the mountains, driven down to where the streams are, driven in beautiful downtown areas. Driving can be enjoyable, but also there's a personal responsibility. You're going to have to provide insurance for your car. You're going to have petrol. You need to make sure maintenance. A lot of beginners are really bad at maintenance. Oil changes, okay, about every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. If you live in a farm or in a dusty area, you might have to change your oil more frequently. After time, it can be boring over time. If you're going on a long trip, I'm here in the United States. If I drive to Las Vegas, if I drive to Houston, Texas, so you want to make it an enjoyable experience. It's very scenic, going out to the ocean, going out to the water, downtown Detroit, Michigan, downtown Houston, Texas, downtown Los Angeles, California, downtown Reno, Nevada. So part of it is the journey and preparing on your trip, filling up the car with gasoline, the sound of the engine, seeing other drivers. It can be really fun, but also can be very intimidating too if you are nervous, if you have a lot of anxiety, if you lose focus. So I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you. But if you want more, you're going to have to subscribe. You're going to have to follow. And then I'm going to be putting out some custom learning modules such as now. And once you learn how to drive, you will enjoy it. If it's not enjoyable, then people won't drive. Next, trunk release buttons. There's a button that you push to release the trunk. A lot of times little kids like to play in cars and then they'll lock themselves in the trunk. So you want to make sure if you have a little niece or nephew, where's Junior? Where's Sally? Where's Johnny? Uh-oh, they locked themselves in the trunk. So the newer cars have a handle that can be pulled and the trunk will pop up. So when you're driving your little niece and nephew, they want to play in the car. No, tell them stop. Sandra, I need you to stop. Pierre, I need you to stop. When you get out, make sure they get out. The newer cars have a little chime and they'll say, check the back seat. Hey Faze, how are you? We're talking about driving, knowing your vehicle. We're talking about how to drive, the knowledge test, the road test, the UK test. I'm a state certified instructor in the United States. I'm talking about some of those elements and really painting a picture to get you guys and ladies out to drive on the road. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in. I'm highlighting a bigger document, but I'm not going to be going through every single detail. This is a really good picture I want to show you. This is the dashboard. This is what it looks like. This is your dashboard, okay? You have your gauges, you have your speedometer, tachometer. You need to know the dashboard. You will be tested on this information. So you need to be studying my content, you need to be looking at my content, and you need to be asking questions. Because the only way we learn is through learning things, through your instructor, through your parent, through going on social media. So I'm really trying to make this channel more of a vlog, education, lifestyle, but also teaching you how to drive because I'm an instructor and I'm very passionate about driving. So you need to know these gauges. Vehicle safety technology. Those of you who are nerds, I love technology. Door locks. Most cars have automatic door locks. You push your button on the driver's side, that controls all four. You might not know that because the driver has the control in the cockpit, right? ABS brakes. That's it. Thank you for the thumbs up. ABS brakes. anti-lock brakes. Another question on your knowledge test. You have to know what ABS stands for, anti-lock brakes. Let's pretend I'm driving and a car pulls out. I hit those brakes. I don't let up. The computer will control the pulses on the brakes, and the brakes will pulsate just like this, and then my wheels won't lock up. Cars without ABS, you have to pump those brakes. That will be a good question on your UK test or your United States driving test. So you really had to take the time. Another thing, ESP. Okay, ESP stands for Electronic Stability Program. Hey guys, I'm going over this real information. You need to be listening. I will end up putting this up on my site, but right now, this is your driver's education class. You have questions, you put them in. If you don't have questions, watch and learn. So what is ESP? Electronic Stability Program. ESP is the system including ABS that applies to two front brakes or all four. Let's pretend I'm going on a curve and I'm going too fast. The rear of the car spins out. ESP will squeeze the brakes, and if the rear slides out, it might let the rear tires spin a little bit. The front will slow down. This will keep me from rolling the car, right? So ESP does pop up on tests across the country. You might have a question similar to that on your UK test. That's still, cars are cars, whether we're in the United States, whether we're in the UK, whether we're in Australia, India, it doesn't matter. Cars are cars. They don't know that, hey, I'm a UK car. Hey, I'm a German car. Hey, I'm a United States car. Cars are cars. You need to know how to drive them. So let's finish talking about the ESP. It uses sensors to monitor dynamic state of the vehicle and commands when applied. Is it normal to self-learn drive? Yes, you mentioned, good question. Give it a thumbs up. We do learn how to self-drive. Hey, let me tell you a story. I was watching something on the tech channel yesterday. We have robots coming out. And once we train them to do our regular task, cleaning the house, cutting the grass, perhaps walking the dog, they are learning. We are self-learning right now. You're self-learning through me. You're self-learning through my videos where we're driving, and your brain self-learns. And as you learn more, you become a master. Like it takes 10 years to master. So you do self-learn. Cars self-learn. Smart cars that do. Your phone self-learns on what websites you like. Your smart TV self-learns. You'll just see my videos popping up if you're taking the time to watch me. Or if you see the title that really intrigues you, you're like, man, I like what he's talking about. I'm learning things about smart cars, ABS, the title, registration. So you're like, man, I like learning. So is it normal to self-learn driving? What I miss if I learn? You will learn. You've learned from your mom. You learned from your dad. You're learning from me. And you will have those experiences in your brain. Then you're going to drive on the road. And you're going to see good drivers who are driving good. You're like, I want to be like them. Or you're going to see bad drivers. I don't want to be like them. And then your brain will get the good driver information. Your brain will get the bad driver information. And then it will lay a neurological pathway. I'm getting deep. And then over time, our brain has those good memories, bad memories, scary memories, and then it lays a pathway. This is how our brain recognizes, because our brains are self-learning. I'm learning from you right now, and then that's the area I want to talk about. So yes, we do self-learn from the day we are born, and I self-learn from Mr. Beast. I self-learn from PewDiePie. I self-learn from Daryl Eves. They're some of the top content creators in the world, and you have to develop your own style. I'm not Mr. Beast. I'm not Daryl Eves. This is Driving with Myles. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults. I teach teens. I'm learning from all the stimuli everywhere, and then I apply the things that I think can help beginners. Okay, great question. Love it. Adaptive cruise control. More cars have this, and the computer will look at cars ahead of you. They're going 50, they're going 60. A sensor in your grill will have a sensor going out to the other vehicle. And sometimes those adaptive cruise controls move too slow. You're almost rear someone, or they'll move too fast. So, and if your sensor is dirty, you went through mud or snow or rain, the sensors may be covered up. But I do believe you need to learn how to drive it before you have adaptive cruise control on. I do believe you need to learn how to drive it before you turn on your smart driving technology. Hey, about 3 years ago, I went through training about adaptive cruise control, smart driving technologies. It is here. Tesla is not the only smart driving vehicle. There are other vehicles out here. And in your group, those of you who are watching this, you're going to be driving those smart vehicles. Okay. Ford has the Lightning. All these manufacturers have smart driving capabilities, but they learn from you on how you drive, on what you do, right? Airbags. Under this phone, there's an airbag. If I had a collision, this airbag would deploy. There's one in the dashboard. So you want to be careful with that. That is safety equipment. Crumple zones. I'm giving you some real life stuff. Crumple zone. Okay. There are 4 corners to the car. The right corner, left corner. If I hit something, the car is designed to crumple. Okay. What is the best age to learn and start learning how to drive as a boy? Where do you start? Most states are around 14.5, 14.9, 15.5. I would say late teens, right? We don't want a 12-year-old coming out to learn how to drive. Right around 15 to 17 is a good age. You want to find a good driving school. You want to look at some maybe Google, evaluations. But anyone can buy those comments. If you want to look at, I would go visit the school. So I would say 15 to 17 is a good age. What if you're over 17? I would say 17 to 21, because the older you get, the more busy you'll get. So 15 to 17 years old, driver's education is very expensive, about $550. That's a whole nother story. Some public schools still teach it. If you're in the UK, you're 21, you're 24, okay? You have the learners, not loser, you have the learners. Then you actually have to go through a whole process of the knowledge test. Here in the United States, it's a little bit more abbreviated. So again, I would say 15 to 17, you're gonna need your parents' financial support. They're gonna have to take you to driver's ed, take you back home. You're gonna be driving with an instructor. You're gonna have to set up time to drive. Good question. Next, we're talking about some safety equipment. Blind spot detector. This car I'm in does not have blind spot detectors. There are 4 blind spots. One is to my left. I've just checked my blind spot. One is to my right. I've just checked my left and right blind spot. Newer cars today, they have a little light in the mirror, and it will light up when a car's in their blind spot, but you still have to look over your shoulder. We're talking about technology right now. We talked about adaptive cruise control. We talked about ESP. ESP is Electronic Stability Program. We talked about blind spot detectors, lane assist. This car does not have lane assist. Some of your larger vehicles, newer vehicles, 2021, 2024, 2025. Hey, if this is bringing you value right now, give it a thumbs up. We're talking about the road test. We're talking about the UK knowledge test. We're going through the actual process of driving. And this is the real list. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach teens and adults. I'm taking my time. This is your driver's education class. This is what I do for a living. And we're on the weekend, and I'm taking time to go through some of the material that I have to go over. If you have questions, you put those in. I really want you to ask questions, and I'll give you an honest opinion. Everyone's situation is different. Maybe you have the money to drive, but you don't have the time. Maybe you have all the time, but you don't have the money. Money is probably a big factor in 50% of people who wait till they're 18 or 20 or 21. Next, fear and anxiety. Maybe your mom and dad were in an accident. Maybe you were in an accident. Maybe you don't have the support system. Maybe your mom and dad scream at you, "Stop doing this!" And then you're like, "I never can drive again because my mom ripped my heart out, ripped my soul out." Everyone has, maybe you have a lot of anxiety. Everyone is different. So I try to go over the general reasons, and then if you type in a comment, then I'll specifically give you real life examples to help you, because the story is most important. And I'm giving you a story. Park assist. You still need to learn how to park your car. You can have a park assist pulling into your high school parking lot, pulling into downtown Detroit, Michigan, downtown Houston, Texas, downtown Los Angeles, California, but you still need to know how to park, because on your road test or knowledge test, you have to cut that off. You got to know how to park manually. So that's really important. So let's review again. We talked about park assist. We talked about lane departure. Let's pretend you're tired. I'm driving in the UK. I want to go to Wales. I'm falling asleep at the wheel. Lane departure will shake the steering wheel, or a chime will come on, right? We have newer cars have cameras, and they're looking at your face. And if you start to fall asleep, I'm pretending I'm falling asleep, a chime will come on, ding, 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 ding. But also those cars are spying on you. If you sync up your phone to the infotainment system, it has your contacts. It knows what social media you watch. The car has data on you that the insurance agency will use. They know when mom is driving. They know when dad is driving. They know when Junior's driving. And Junior drives really fast, because at a certain time when Junior's driving, say 3 to 5, you're doing 60. You should be doing 25. So the insurance agencies have a lot of data. That's another story for another time, but I'm telling you, they have data on all of us. This is not a smart car. This is a 2010, so there's no infotainment system to link my phone to the car, but my phone has GPS. The GPS company knows where I go, my location in the world, so they can map where I am. They can map what stores I go to, and if there's smart technology, it will sync to our phone. So we talked about park assist. You got to know how to park on your own. Lane departure. I was pretending I was driving in the UK, falling asleep, go off the road, the steering wheel will shake. Adaptive cruise control. We're driving in heavy traffic in Houston, Texas. Stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. I'm distracted for a second. The car actually slows down and the light comes on. Dee, 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 dee. I didn't rear in the car because I have adaptive cruise control. We have backup warning systems. Don't get comfortable with your backup camera. Look over your shoulder, because you could run over a kid. You could hit your neighbor's car. Practice looking over your shoulder. I am not against technology. I love AI, but you still need to know how to drive. Yes, in the next 5 to 10, 12 years, cars will be self-driving, but we have to program these cars. You can't just simply put it in self-driving mode and fall asleep. What if a car pulls out? What if the traffic light doesn't work? What if a deer comes out? What if a car cuts you off? The robot may or may not know what to do. What if the programmer has different ideas? What if a little kid comes out versus an old man? The computer will say, okay, this is snowman, they die, the younger person lives. I have some other information that's very intriguing. If you want me to talk about that, you've got to let me know. Okay, so the AI will make a choice. Who lives, who dies. Wow. All life is important. Think about that for a second. I just said that. We also talked about anti-lock brakes. We also discussed ESP, traction control. Traction control, let's talk about this for a second. If your car is on ice, the computer will pull power, pull out ignition timing from your engine, and you can put your foot to the floor. You're on ice, your car won't go anywhere. That's a safety feature. I had a 1999 LS2, 6-speed, very powerful, about 400 horsepower. I was spinning on the ice. The computer pulled all the power out. I was pushing my foot to the floor. The car was only going 3. I'm like, what's wrong? The computer saved me, because if I would have had full power or turned traction control off, I would have spun out. So you think about that. Now today, there's HP tuners. There are other tuning software that you can plug in an OB2 sensor, and you can bypass those, but those are dangerous, because at the manufacturer, they have a lot of leeway. You can have turbos, you can have nitrous, you can pull timing out, but if you're turning and tuning those computer control systems, you have to know what you're doing. Let's go on to the next page here. That was vehicle technology. Now we're talking about basic driving maneuvers. I know you see this: steering wheel, hand over hand, hand to hand. This is your class right now. This is your class. You got to have your hands at 9 or 3 or 10 and 2. The National Highway Safety Transportation System says 7 and 5. Your hands at the Lord. But I heard hand over hand. Every steering wheel, every public manufacturer is different. The National Highway Safety Transportation System, remember, I'm in the United States. They say that 9 and 3 is still a safe way to hold the steering wheel when parallel parking, when making right turns. But I'm in the UK. We do hand to hand. That's in the UK. You use your systems in your country. What if I come to the United States and do hand to hand? That's okay too, as long as you demonstrate control. Push-pull. This is where you're pushing and pulling the wheel. If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. I need 3 or 4 or 5 more thumbs up. I'm taking the time. We've been on for 35 minutes. I'm actually giving you a lesson in driver's education. We're talking about push-pull steering. We're talking about hand-to-hand steering. So push-pull, this approach is primarily used for maneuvers. Does not require quick steering. Inputs, out of danger, changing lanes, slight turns. Okay, thank you, Jackson. I appreciate you, Jackson. When you steer your vehicle, you should look ahead. A lot of beginners, what do? They look down at the steering wheel. I'm looking down the steering wheel. What's up, Stan? How you doing? We're talking about basic driving maneuvers. I'm a state certified driving instructor. We're talking about hand and steering wheel placement. This is your actual driver's ed lesson. We're keeping it real. You don't see a lot of instructors doing this. I'm going through it. I'm taking the time to prepare you for your driver's education class. Or if you have your license, you're like, man, I'm learning some stuff about my car. I love learning. Just like yesterday, I was on YouTube and they were talking about computers and how they train them to do manufacturing jobs where you're in a warehouse. Those manufacturing jobs are $19 to $25 an hour. But in the next 3 years, 5 years, they said it's 2024. They said the next 5 years, next 6 years, by 2030, you're going to have robots in the warehouse doing those jobs that humans don't want to do. So what does this mean? You better get your education, baby, or you're about to be replaced. So you're going to have robots in the warehouse packing stuff. Amazon already does it right now. Elon Musk already does it right now. So they're kind of the leaders in the segment. And then can I see it in driver's ed? Not quite yet. You need a human to intervene in case an adult or a teen has a panic attack, has a heart attack. We're not there yet, but we will be. So you got to know how to do push-pull. You got to know how to do hand over hand. You have to know, you should be able to see this. You have to know how to do those maneuvers. If you don't, you won't pass. Okay. Next, acceleration. The speed of the vehicle is controlled by the pressure the driver puts on the gas pedal or the brake pedal. If you want to slow down gradually, you lift your foot off. If you want to increase rapidly, you push your foot on the gas pedal. Same thing. Whether you're in the UK or the United States, the gas pedal is where the gas pedal is. They're just in different locations. I'm in North America, our steering wheel is on the left. If we were in the UK or Australia, it would be on the right. You still need to know how to push the gas, how to push the brake, how to shift a gear. Okay, and self-driving, we're not there yet, but it's already here. Let's talk about braking. When necessary to slow down, the driver should apply the brakes to decrease speed. You never want to slam brakes. I appreciate you, Stan. Stan, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, right? We're doing live. I'm teaching you value. I'm a state certified driving instructor. And if you take the time to listen, which I'm appreciative of, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. You got to know how to reverse. Backing into your driveway, backing out of your driveway. You got to know how to reverse. Yes, people have backup cameras, but these are your best backup cameras. Look over your shoulder. Next, I'm hitting braking. To stop the vehicle, the driver must maintain pressure. If the vehicle has ABS, apply the brakes. That's going to be in your test, right? If you don't have ABS, you got to pump brakes. I love this part. We have signs. We have signs. This is a whole new section. Whole new section. Right? You see all these signs? This is warning. Yellow and black is warning. These are regulatory. Okay? These are your guide signs. Guide, warning, regulatory. you are getting so much value right now because I love doing and I love helping you right now. So your stop sign, that's your regulatory. We all know what stop is, right? Next, yield sign. A lot of beginners mix up yield and stop. Stop means stop for completely minimum 3 seconds. Yield means you slow down. You will see a regulatory sign one way if you're going the wrong way on a ramp to an expressway, if you're going the wrong way in downtown Detroit, Michigan, downtown Houston, Texas, downtown Los Angeles, California. Again, do not enter. Keep to the right. You have to know these. They're in all driving tests across the world. If you don't know signs and pavement markings, you will fail. You will struggle. Why do you want to struggle? Why do you want to fail? Next, we have our warning signs, right? Curvy road, pedestrian, intersection, pedestrian crossing. Okay, you need to know this. Stop ahead. Okay, slippery when wet. You need to know this. And here are guide signs. Hospital, right? Next, this is for recreation. These are, thank you, these are critical for you to understand and critical to know. Why am I doing this? Because I want to grow the channel. Next, let's talk about traffic lights. Here's our traffic light. Yellow means proceed with caution. If you're too close, you want to be able to stop in 3 seconds. If you are too close, proceed with caution, but you could fail your test. Green means you look left and right. Red means stop. You have to know. And I've driven students who are colorblind. You said colorblind? Yeah, they're colorblind. So they can't see the colors. So you need to know. I know it's going through some of the general things today. So traffic light. Some have a green arrow. Some have a red arrow. They're more confusing. So here are the arrows, right? The arrows are right here. Red means stop. The yellow means proceed with caution. The green means go. This is your basic. All drivers must come to a complete stop. Okay? I love this. This is where you're going to have to show me that you understand. You should tell me what this sign means. Type it in. What does this sign mean? Type it in. If you're listening right now, type in what this means. Okay? Next, this, you should be able to tell me what this is. This is your test right now. Blue and white with the H. Right? Blue and white with the H. Hospital. Guide sign. This is a regulatory sign. This is no left turn. Okay? So you have to know this. Next, stop sign. Regulatory sign. You have to know what it means. No left turn. Hey! They put it in. What does this sign mean? You should be able to tell me, what does this mean? Right? You should be able to tell me what this sign means. We're just going through some of the basic signs right now, right? And why not with your instructor? Okay? School zone ahead. Hey, Jackson, you got it. School zone ahead. What does this sign mean? Right here. What's this sign mean? I'm pointing to it. You should be able to tell me what this sign means. This is your virtual class right now, right? Tell me what this sign means. Stop sign upcoming. Stop ahead. Amen. Stop sign ahead. What does this sign mean right here? You should be able to tell me what this sign means right here. Right here. I know it might be backwards because of the orientation, but you should be able to tell me what this means. Do not enter. Amen. We're getting it. Do not enter. Okay? And this sign right here, you should be able to tell me what this sign means. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, A. Right? You should be able to tell me. So you get in your virtual class right now, and I am so happy. Now, I have more for you. I got more for you. Okay? You should be able to tell me what this sign means. I'm pointing to it. What does this sign mean? Right here. Yes, you're a little bit behind. Thank you, Jackson. That was no passing. What does this sign mean right here? I'm pointing to it. The last sign you didn't see, I'll go back. We're on this one right now. Jackson is on it. S is on it. What does this sign mean right here? This is your virtual class. A, T, you got it. Right? There we go. There we go. What does this sign mean? This sign right here. Okay? I'm getting into some harder ones right now. What does this sign mean? What does it mean for truck drivers? What does it mean for us if we got a bigger vehicle? I'm pointing to it right now. Yeah, Joe, what's up? Okay, right here. We're going over real life information. Downhill. Yes, trucks downhill. Jackson, you own it. Hey, S, you're on it, right? That's fun. You know I love teaching, right? Now we got pavement markings too, right? So these are pavement markings, right? Thank you. Your videos are awesome. Joe, thank you, Joe. Follow, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Look at my videos, okay? I got about 10 minutes, so I want to bring you value. Then I'll edit it, and you guys will look at it as YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks, because I'm giving you information, and I appreciate you. Reduce speed ahead. Amen. Okay, let's keep going. All right. We got traffic signals now. We got traffic signals. What does this mean? Traffic signals. Right here. All right, Jackson. What does this mean right here? Tell me. I'm pointing at it. Number 39. This is actually from my driver's education information. You're getting firsthand. Man, this guy knows this stuff. Hey, go. Okay? Yes. You always have to look. You want to watch out for pedestrians. You want to yield to people in the intersection. So you're getting ready for your knowledge test. I can tell by your answers. You are ready, right? So you need to know red means you stop. Yellow, proceed with caution. Green means go. Or if you have a turning arrow, you can go in that direction. Thank you, T. Thank you, S. Thank you, Jackson. We're getting it live today. Okay? We're getting it live. I'm going to try to get you some more signs. I want to keep this fun. If you like this type of lesson where I can show you interactive stuff, let me know. Leave some comments. Reach out. Okay? Hey, here's our roundabout. Here's our roundabout. Okay? What are the rules of a roundabout? Tell me. What are the rules of a roundabout? What should you do? What shouldn't you do? What if you have to make a turn? What do you do? What if traffic is already in the roundabout? We have them in the United States. You have them in the UK. They have them in Australia. They have them in downtown Detroit, Michigan. They have them in downtown Houston, Texas. They have them in all. Do they have those in Belo Horizonte, Brazil? Probably do. Right? I like it to go and help me. Yes, I got this. So I have more teaching materials at home. You go counterclockwise, yes, or clockwise. It depends on where you want to go. If you want to go in and go around to the right, that's clockwise. You want to get in and go around to the left, that's counterclockwise. But you have to yield to vehicles in the intersection. That's awesome. I can tell you guys are learning. I really can. And I'm just smiling. It brings tears to my eyes because I see you smiling, right? And then I'm trying to find some other pictures in here to help you, right? But let's review this information because I'm really excited because you're putting your work in. Joe, you're awesome. Okay, let's talk about the steering wheel really quick. How do you guys have your hands on the steering wheel, right? Did your instructor teach you 9 and 3, 10 and 2, 7 and 5? How do you hold the steering wheel? Are you driving with one hand? Are you driving 9 and 3, 10 and 2, 7 and 5? How do all of you hold the steering wheel? There's more than one way to hold the 10 and 2. S said 10 and 2. I use 10 and 10, 2 hands. Okay, so I'm getting a little survey. 10 and 2, 10 and 10, 2 hands. They said, how do you hold the steering wheel? Everyone put it in. 10 and 2, thank you. Thank you. You got to know how to hold that steering wheel. There's more than one way to hold the steering wheel. I use 9 and 3. I also use 7 and 5 because I'm tall and I had the steering wheel lower. I had the seat all the way back. So, you need to compare. We're all sharing stories of information, right? You're actually going through my virtual driver's education class right now, and we're learning a lot, okay? I'm going to just review the signs, right? Hospital, no turn, school zone, warning, stop ahead, stop sign, go in with me. Jackson said 9 and 3. This is your yield sign. Beginning drivers mix up yield and stop signs. Beginning drivers mix up these two signs. You probably say, how does that happen? They're not sure what to do. So stop means stop completely. I have a question. Go ahead, put in the question. Yield means you slow down. Stop means you stop completely. This is a regulatory sign. Do not enter is probably backwards because the orientation of my phone. This sign means left lane goes down to 1. Put in your question. So you have to know these signs. I'm going to show you. I'm going to flip the page. Okay, I'm looking at the question. How many seconds do you stop at a stop sign? Okay, minimum time is 3 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003, minimum. You don't want to do a rolling stop. You're going to get a ticket. Stop completely. Let the car stop. It'll roll forward, then roll back. Minimum is 3 seconds. I looked it up. Some people stop for 5 seconds. But if you have to stop completely. Good question. We know this is a roundabout. We know this is a regulatory. If we are truck drivers, we are really being aware of this because if we ride our brakes will burn up. This is railroad. Got to know what it is. Two-way traffic, right? This means keep to the right. On yours, it's probably keep to the left, right? These are your chevron alignment signs on a curve. Okay, this is an exit speed on a ramp. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this, leave some comments for me. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I will go live again later today and we'll go over this. I just want to say thank you. I hope you subscribe. I hope you look at my videos. And if you want me to do more lessons like this, I will. I enjoyed all of you. It was fun to see all of you go through the signs. And tell your friends. Subscribe to the channel. Follow. Give it a thumbs up. Bye, guys.